Hello everyone, this is Lenny Man, a record that cannot be easily broken that centers on the parents, the teachers, and the students. The essence is to bridge the missing gap that has been disconnected in order to save that child and the society at large. I am Valentina Adesanya. This morning I'll be talking about three things, and which is the sign and symptoms, talking about how they are diagnosed, and treatment and intervention for the parent who has the special children. So now the first one, the sign and symptoms. So the sign and symptoms that varies in different stages, talking about the pre, the pri, and the sec. If you hear me say pre, I'm talking about the preschool, primary, and secondary. So it varies properly. This can be diagnosed majorly in the primary school because that is the time, especially in grade 3 or primary 2, thereabout, when the child have started reading and writing, and then you begin to see those symptoms showing. So it is expected for a parent to have started using what we call observational method. You will see it at home. So when you notice that, this takes me to the second one, which is how they are being diagnosed. So how they are diagnosed is when you notice it, you go straight down to the school to lay your complaint, telling them how your child has been struggling to write and read. So getting there is either you meet the teacher or you meet the school administrator who will put you through. Now, every school is expected to have a specialist in order to evaluate this child or the child or those children. It is expected. And who are those people? You're talking about either your learning professionals or your psychologists. Every school is expected to have. So they are the one that will assess those children. And two people are always involved using the questionnaire tool to gather information, data on that children. So it is that data that will be used to evaluate who are those people, the child's teacher and the child's parents. So it is the child's teacher and parents who used to gather information about that child and will now use to assess and evaluate if really this child is a dyslexia. Now this will now take me to the third one, which is treatment and evaluation. So we see it as a brain learning disorder that affects reading of that particular child, and it can also manifest in other various ways, especially in writing. So when you begin to see things like that, now what are the treatments expected to give those children? One of the treatments we use as psychologists is their intervention program and accommodation that meet the individual needs. That is talking about the individual, talking about that special child, that child that have dyslexia. So you need to set up programs, intervention program, and accommodation that could meet the needs of this child. Now, we are not talking about medication here now. We're talking about change in school. It could be change in school that child needs, change in school work, or change in the work environment where the child is. And this, I would like to say that the Nigeria curriculum does not have a place for the dyslexia. Then if you are in a setting where Nigeria curriculum is 100% used and you have a dyslexia child there, definitely that child is going to struggle all through. So we're talking about change. I think Montessori is doing a good work when it comes to that. especially when one of the qualities we need for those children is when the teacher is patient. If the teacher is patient, very patient, and still make use of the Nigeria curriculum, because Nigeria curriculum has to do with, it doesn't really have a place for those children. 40 minutes is not enough for a child who has dyslexia in a class. The 40 minutes is for a normal student. With a child with brain disorder, 40 minutes, you cannot even achieve anything. Such a child needs one-on-one engagement, and one-on-one engagement in a class of the Nigerian curriculum, I've never seen it effective. Montessori is really doing a good job where they do one-on-one engagement. Some school does one-on-one engagement. I would love you to take your children to where they have one-on-one engagement with your child, and where they don't totally use the Nigeria curriculum for your child. Your child is going to struggle all through. Those are the interventions program we do and tell parents. So the workload, a dyslexic child does not need a workload. Even the sight of it scare that child away. So those are the things you need to put in consideration in helping the child with special needs. So these, as I've said, combined with a lot of understanding and support from both the school and the home, has a whole lot to play in the life of that child. Not even in that child that have this is dyslexia, not only in the life of a child, but also an adult who is also struggling in this too. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Do not forget to follow. Do not forget to also share. Peradventure you have a child who is having this, we are just here for you. See you in my next video.